YouTube gamers? Bonfire here, and I hope you guys are having an awesome Nintendo Switch launch weekend. I know I am, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about and unbox the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. So the idea was that if I didn't like the grip controller that comes with the Nintendo Switch, I would have the Pro controller as a backup and could utilize it just in case, you know, these things are sold out everywhere at launch. Or if I end up liking the grip controller and thought it was adequate, well, I'd just take this back and get my money back. No harm, no foul, right? I can say though, after playing several hours with the Nintendo Switch and using the grip controller, that at least playing Zelda Breath of the Wild, it's not the most comfortable and user-friendly. Now, I'm not saying that the grip controller is bad by any means. I'm just saying that with a game like Breath of the Wild, it's not the most user-friendly. So I'm looking forward to trying out the Pro controller because obviously this has a little bit more of an ergonomic and traditional controller design, so I think it'll make playing Zelda much better. So without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open and check it out. I just like doing that for effect, you know what I mean? So, right away it comes with, I believe this is a USB-C cable for the controller. And then we've got the controller itself. Yeah, that's USB-C, I can confirm that. But, oh man, this is nice. So right away, this feels much more traditional and a lot more comfortable than the grip controller. The grip controller tends to be, it's a little bit smaller, and I don't have large hands at all, so if you do have large hands, I'm gonna tell you right away, the grip controller is probably not gonna be your favorite. But this just feels much more comfortable, I gotta say. It feels good. I will say I like the analog sticks on the Joy-Cons a little bit better in terms of the concave design on it, but this is still good, just feels a little bit more generic. The buttons feel really good, they stand out. This has an actual D-pad, which is already a plus in my book. And this has even a little bit more of a trigger than the Joy-Cons too. So this is a really good controller, and quite honestly, I wish they would have packaged this with the Nintendo Switch. Obviously I understand why they didn't, but this is a nice controller, I gotta say. One of the other things I really like about it too is that it kind of has almost that clear plastic design that, you know, from the Nintendo 64 days, you know, when they had that like clear purple controller, and then I think they did it with a bunch of other controllers and even some of the consoles itself. I love that. To me, that says Nintendo's getting back to its roots. I love that because they haven't done that in a long time, but that's really nice. I like this. This is really good. So I'm gonna go get some hands-on time with it, then we'll come back and I wanna talk a little bit more about my experience and some of my impressions after using this bad boy. So I've been using the Pro controller over the last couple of days, and I gotta be honest, I am so glad that I purchased this. And I would even make an argument that this is one of the most comfortable controllers I have ever used. Everything about this just feels good. The buttons feel very high quality. The A, B, X, Y buttons are actually larger than they are on the Joy-Cons, so it feels right. It's got a really nice D-pad. I mean, the classic D-pad. Triggers feel good. I mean, when I talk about high quality buttons, it just feels quality. try it out for yourself, because me describing it is not going to do it justice. It just feels really, really good, and it has more of a trigger than the Joy-Cons do. And one of the things I like about it, especially when playing with Zelda, are the analog sticks, because they're a little bit taller and larger than they are on the Joy-Cons. For obvious reasons, Joy-Cons have to remain portable. But with this, for me, it just makes things easier. It makes aiming easier, moving the camera. I feel like I have more control, and I will probably even put on a control freak over here, because that's just how I play. Right analog stick usually always has a control freak. But this is a really, really good controller, and I am just in love with it. Really, my only complaints are the plus minus and the home and capture button. So the home and capture button are where start and select are, but in game, the plus and minus are your start and select. So I just out of habit, I've caught myself accidentally pressing the home button or the capture button instead of the plus or minus button. So it's kind of a little bit of an awkward placement. You just have to reach a little bit farther, kind of get used to it. It's a really minor gripe, but other than that, I love it. The last thing I wanted to touch on is battery life, and I don't know how long the battery lasts, but what I can tell you is that I have had a couple of 7 hours or so sessions with this thing, well, because I'm addicted to Breath of the Wild, but I have had no issues with battery during those sessions. The entire time I've used this thing, I've never seen a low battery warning. It does have the USB-C cable, so I know it's going to charge really quick, and it's great. So no issues there from a battery standpoint. And there you guys have it. That is the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. I gotta say, I absolutely love this thing. I'm so happy I purchased it. If you have a little discomfort with the grip controller or the Joy-Cons themselves, I would highly recommend that you pick this up. $70 is kind of a steep price for a controller, but I think it's well worth it, because it's just that comfortable and works so well with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'm Bonfire, and I will see you online.
Yeah, now come up, it's 80 you now if you with me, put your hands up. On the fly, lady, set a front on that stand up.